Okay. So basically today, I'm sure you know, did you get to watch Sharp's video?
No, I didn't. I have been
It's
pretty
pretty good.
busy.
Yeah, me too. But I watched Sharp's video. It was pretty good, where he actually talked about the roster change. He said it's not an April Fool's joke, and that it's serious. He thought about saying that he was quitting TK as an April Fool's joke, but he thought it was too much to go with the actual announcement.
Yeah.
So just give me your first impressions of Formal and Theory deciding to leave the team and why you think they left.
Um, I was super shocked. I don't know. I'm not a big. I'm an avid like. I'm not a big fan of team changes whatsoever.
Yeah,
Because I just think it's kind of weird how our community just you know changes teams after pretty much every event. But I mean, I thought it was weird that Theory left because TK has always been a team that they're quick to say, we're all
loyalty and
about our
yeah,
chemistry.
yeah,
And so I was really 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 surprised. I wasn't surprised to see Formal leave, but for Theory to leave, I mean, he's been with TK since pretty much the beginning, right? So
yeah. Well, technically, Theory, Sharp, and Goon, they've all been there, and so I think, like for me, I thought about it and I said, okay, even though Sharp said in his video, he was like, it's not about the money. He's like, I don't really need, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I didn't win 100,000. I got to win this $100,000 to survive. Sharp was
right,
saying that, it sucks that they lost, but he wasn't really, he wasn't sad about the money. It's a pride thing, and when you place top four at every single event you've ever played in, and the one that is worth $1 million, you finish top 16. Like, that sucks. I mean, and I can
yeah,
imagine if you're Theory and you're not Sharp and you're like, well, bro, I needed that money. Like, that would have changed my life. Like, even if we would have finished top four like we always have, I would have taken home some good cheese. Like, I needed that cash. And so I think for Theory, that was a realization. I think for Formal as well, as someone new to competitive COD, like, he probably needed that COD champs money, just to be real.
yeah,
And maybe felt like Sharp and Goon weren't playing the way that they could have, or they could have played better. And then it was funny because in Sharp's video, he said that he was surprised that Goonjar didn't leave as well.
yeah. 'Cause why not?
He said teams were throwing colors at him. He was like, teams were just throwing colors at him. And he said something, he said a joke like they said, we'll name the team the Goonjars and you guys can all wear Astro jackets. And so I was like, is he talking about like a separate optic team? Like, what is he hinting at here? So I don't know who was throwing invitations to Goonjar. Maybe LV, probably a good squad where Goonjar could have
Yeah,
went. I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty, to move the conversation to where these guys are going. I wouldn't be surprised if LV hit up one of them. Uh, Benson earlier on the rant was talking about the fact that they were seriously looking at Formal as an option. Do you think he would work out on that roster?
on the LV squad.
Yeah. If Ricky
Uh,
stays, I mean, nobody knows what's really happening with Ricky, but
Ricky. I think, yeah, I think. Well, the thing about Formal is, I think he could pretty much work anywhere because his whole thing is that he is, just he said it himself. He's raw skill or whatnot, and he's just. I mean, he's got an amazing shot with an SMG, an amazing shot with an AR, and an amazing shot with a sniper rifle. So he can, he's a threat. He can play pretty much any role. His favorite role is to play, the OB Slayer mentality where you just run around and you just kill people. But that can I mean, any team can pretty much use that.
yeah. This Zolfer guy, I don't know what he's talking about in the stream. Says the mods are discriminating against him. I don't know how, but oh, he said he's joking. Well, that's a good way to get on stream, buddy. Put a big long
Ricky's
message in
go.
there. Yeah, so
Did
what's
Ricky? Where did
well,
Ricky go?
nobody knows. Like, he tweeted something about leaving, and then nobody else said anything. And then somebody said he went to Vanquish, but nobody has said an official announcement from anywhere. And so I don't know if Ricky would actually leave. I know for sure that Parasite is like going to be LV's guy. That's who they're going to build the team around. So if
Right.
Ricky and Miracles leave, it was funny because on stream Benson said he said, well, we're currently looking for one, could be two or three. You know, he said we
Hmm.
could be looking for three players. Who knows? And that means he specifically said we're waiting to hear back from one of the other players. You know, they know for sure they have one spot open, but they're waiting. I'm guessing it's Ricky that they're waiting to hear back from. And I think Miracles would stay with Parasite. I mean, personally. And Benson was making some good points about these roster changes. Is everybody's trying to change rosters to beat complexity, but you also have other teams you have to beat. So if you build a
Yeah.
team that can beat complexity and then SB comes out of nowhere and beats you, you know, it kind of sucks. And so
Yeah.
he was saying whatever strategies teams are coming up with and rosters, they also have to be able to beat every other team to even get to complexity. And COD Champ showed us that all those little strategies by SB, FaZe, whoever made teams to try to beat complexity, TK, they all failed. And Envy was the most successful getting as far, you know, getting that far. And
Right.
technically, Optic put up the best fight against complexity. So it's kind of a these roster changes to me are kind. What are you? Oh, James is tweeting Ricky's status from Twitter. Can't wait until after PAX and just start grinding again. Sucks missing chance, but still more. Okay, he didn't really say anything. So here's the weird thing. You tell me what you think about this.
All right.
Because the rosters are locked for PAX, TK has to play as the roster they have right now. So although Formal and Theory are leaving, the four of them have to play together. And it was funny because Sharp was saying we're not going to just snipe. You know, he's like we actually want to win. There's money on the
Yeah.
line for PAX. But do you think that's going to be weird for them? Are they going to actually play to their abilities, or how's that going to go down?
I caught a little bit of the esports report, and
Yeah,
Sharp said that it's going to be an awkward event. But I think that's still, top three team out there. They had a bad game against Optic, and then they played Envy. So it's not like they did bad. They played the best teams. They played two of the top three teams
yeah,
as their first two opponents. So you can't really say they did bad. They just got, bracket shafted, to be honest. And
yeah.
so so I honestly think they could probably win PAX, and that would be the most hilarious thing
Ever.
if they win PAX and then break up. I think they'll probably make it to the finals unless they have to face complexity on the way there. But
Well,
I
I
don't know.
mean, you're right, and I think that it would be hilarious. Like, wouldn't that be the funniest thing ever? You know, you win PAX and then because I think it was just the wrong day to have a bad game. I think they just had a bad day
Yeah.
on the sticks, which happens. It was just the worst tournament of the entire year to have a bad game on. Like, they would have rather have lost in the first round, gone to the losers bracket, and gotten kicked out of like Columbus or Philly than placed where they placed in this tournament. And it's unfortunate. So, what do you think about the pickup of Methods? Like, do you think that was a smart decision for TK?
Methods, yeah, Methods is great. I think Methods was a lot better than, or at a different level than the people on the other guys on youth.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
he was. If you remember, he was on the FaZe squad that nearly beat Complexity. They were up two maps. They were a round away of S&D from beating Complexity at Philly. So he definitely knows how to compete with the highest of them. I think it was a great. I do think that was a great pickup, and it'll be. I think that team's got a lot of potential to be like a social media team as well because Methods is hysterical, Sharp is hysterical. So
yeah.
that's what I was saying. I tweeted out. I said they should probably pick up Mad Cat because I don't know if you know anything about Mad Cat, but he is hilarious. So that would be like the funniest. It'd be like a comedian team. Um,
Sharp and Methods are gonna be pretty hilarious on. And
yeah,
Goonjar, I mean, that's a
yeah,
funny team right there. I mean, they're gonna give us some good laughs. You know, I think Sharp is one of the funniest. I love watching his YouTube videos, and he makes those funny faces with the camera. And he's a good guy. He's made up a word that everybody uses now, like Burgundy.
yeah,
You know, it's just he's got his own language going. Everybody calls Goonjar a rat, or it's one of the things you think of in your head because of
yeah,
Sharp calling him a rat in his videos and stuff. And so I think Methods was interesting because I guess next year he still won't be 18 at COD Champs, so they can only keep him temporarily. Like he can't go
Mm.
all. I mean, once next year's COD Champs comes up, the qualifiers, he's not gonna be able to play. So it's kind of like they're gonna have to make another roster change. Do you have a guess, or who do you think they might pick up for their fourth?
Uh,
You think they would pick up?
I
You think Killa would play on TK? You think they would pick him up?
man, I don't know. I mean, they could pick up anybody. Yeah, they could probably pick up Killa. But I know that Killa's been playing a lot of underground tournaments and things with Neslo.
Yeah,
Um, so I mean, really nobody. Champs and the league has kind of messed everything up. Like it's made some squads like really defined. Like they have their core four, and then other ones they're just bits and pieces of free agents out. It's weird. It's weird. Um, I think Miyagi was a really good pickup for youth.
you do.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. I mean Miyagi. I don't know. Miyagi played really well at Philly, and he hasn't really had a chance to show himself since then. And I feel like now he's on a pretty solid squad. So I'm excited to see them play.
Yeah, I think Miyagi's pretty good. I wonder, like, I wish they would just button this stuff down and get it taken care of because I don't want it to turn into what happened back in, December 10th, to the dreaded D-Day, and for a month we had some of the craziest. I mean, like every day somebody was just making us drop our jaws and go, "What?" And I think I'm pretty sure though at this point that the Biblical Reaper said, "Test me." I'm pretty sure at this point that the top teams are not gonna make changes. The ones that finished at a good point in COD champs. Like, could I see FaZe making a roster change? Maybe. They've been consistently approaching like that top tier status, but you don't want to win an online league and not be able to win when it counts, and when it's worth money. And so
Right.
I think FaZe is going to have to get some more land power to get through some of these tough teams like, SB and Optic and Envy and Complexity. It's amazing that I can say that the Optic and Envy are top land squads, because I
Yeah.
honestly I don't think anybody saw them doing as well as they did. Just to be honest, like they showed up at champs, and I'm really hoping to I'm really hoping they make these changes like now. Like they just don't wait. And it's weird that they're making these announcements before PAX since they know they can't really change their rosters. So I'm wondering
Yeah.
if
That's
tomorrow we're
strange.
gonna wake up and then all these teams are gonna be like April Fools, haha. Theory
Well,
is,
I think a reason why they're doing that is because they want to get a jump start for their team for the next league.
yeah.
Um, so that they can qualify for Anaheim, or yeah, so they can qualify for Anaheim. That's what I think.
Oh, so you think
I
they're
think
trying to make the roster trades now so that they happen right after PAX and they're already
yeah,
in
because
place?
I don't think PAX is going to be. I mean, it's a good payday, but I don't think it's really the top priority for these teams right now. They're thinking, they're thinking
The
the long
Anaheim,
term.
yeah. And the Anaheim
Yeah,
payout for the pros is what, $70,000?
yeah, 70.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
that's the most for a LAN outside of COD champs. I mean, that's a lot. It's gonna be pretty huge. I think in my mind, the fourth for TK. Unfortunately, I have to say that I think we may see a few other trades. Whether it's, I think Ricky and Miracles may leave LV, and we'll see Parasite starting a team and picking up whoever he wants. And that may make some other changes happen because players want to play for LV, which, by the way, Benson was saying he may rebrand Curse Las Vegas because they're not in Las Vegas. So calling
Huh.
them Curse LV is kind of awkward. They're going to be in Atlanta, but Curse Atlanta isn't
Curse
really.
ATM.
Yeah, Curse ATL sounds good. Curse Atlanta doesn't, but Curse ATL, that sounds pretty dope. Like that'd be a super
Yeah.
tight squad. So I see Biblical Reaper from Justice Pro or from Just. I think he runs their Beast division, something like that. You can say in the chat whatever you do, Reaper, for Justice. But he was saying that they've got Tipsy still. I'm pretty sure like that the rumor about Justice Pro as a team kind of disbanding uh, is a reality, and that we're gonna have Neslo uh, and Tipsy are gonna be free agents. And I don't know what Gucci's gonna do, but I'm pretty sure Neslo and Tipsy are gonna be free agents. So I don't know where they're gonna go, but go ahead.
Gucci retired, right? Gucci said he's pretty much done.
Yeah, that's what he said. He'll probably actually be done because there's no top team's going to pick him up if he's saying he's retiring. So I think that's
Yeah.
where we're getting with competitive Call of Duty is that, you either got to go all in and make it a career because of the amount of time that it takes, or you have to decide I'm never going to finish at a high enough level to make enough bread off of this. And so I'm just going to finish college and get a job. A lot of
Yeah.
teams like I remember Sigma Saint from Sigma was talking about how he had the only team that had 4 college students on it when Sigma was a team, and he said it put him at a disadvantage because they just couldn't practice. Like,
Yeah, they couldn't practice nearly as much.
I mean, you can
Um,
imagine if you had 4 people in college trying to get them to play together, it's pretty rough.
yeah, I can't. I can't
Yeah,
imagine.
and so that I think that's why these guys are a lot of them. Reaper, what did you say you do? Snacks? What? Oh, is Snacks is Big Snacks in here? Oh, he is in here.
He is?
I got some Intel Snacks. I can't share it on stream, but we can talk in DMs if you want to. Yeah, I got some Intel, but I can't share it. But yeah, I think that it's going to be interesting if they stay together. If Justice Pro stays together and they pick up somebody else, great, or 2 or whatever. Maybe Snacks, you can share the truth. You can drop it in the I mean that's your team. I believe you own them. So if you want to drop that in the chat, that'd be dope. But I think that if they break up, I would love, like in all honesty, I'd love to see Tipsy go to one of the top organizations if they do break up. I just think he's proven that he has the drive and the desire to play at a top level and to play on a top team. So, and he was
Yeah.
captain of Justice, and I think when him and Study played together, they were just, Study had this ability to yell and scream. It doesn't seem like he does it as much on Envious, probably because Rambo's always talking in his ear. But Tipsy did not join TK Taylor. That was a fake.
The April Fool's joke.
Yeah, that was an April Fool's joke. I can't believe he actually made a movie or
Yeah,
bless you.
he uploaded
I
that
can't believe
real
he
quick.
uploaded a video about it,
Yeah.
like Tipsy joining TK. Yeah, they're laughing. T Kipsy was a joke, and unfortunately, you see what happened to his Twitter. He switched
Yeah,
he switched over, and somebody took just Tipsy.
I took it. Yeah, you gotta take precautions, man.
Yeah, and so now he's like just Tipsy 93 or something like that. So if they stay, give me the intel. Come on, share it. Share the intel. I'll take it. Everybody keeps saying Intel in the thing. Taylor Keating, who I think Taylor runs the COD Chronicle website, is saying
Oh, yeah.
Intel, not fake. But Big
People
Snacks
keep giving,
stopped talking. So
people keep DMing me intel, but I think it's all fake.
yeah, that's what I
I
got.
don't even believe you.
I'm trusting what I get from players themselves.
Oh yeah,
But
I'm not
that's
getting. Oh,
what?
what?
What happened?
Sorry.
Oh, your computer? Yeah, mine did that
Yeah,
too.
my computer died. All
Okay, wait.
right,
I'm
go.
trying to see in here. Intel Kingdom. Give me some Intel. Oh, they want Intel. No, I can't give you any Intel. Sorry. I was gonna tweet out earlier to ask if Nade dropped his news, but that was just gonna be an April Fool's joke, just to make people mad. So if you guys have any questions in the chat, that's cool. All I really want to talk about in this stream was TK. That's the only team that really made any changes today that is going to have an impact, I think, on the scene. I don't think Optic is going to pick up Formal. I do think there's teams that could be made better by picking up Formal in theory, but I don't think they'll make roster changes. Like, could Envy become better if they picked up one of those players? Probably, but they finished second, and I think you said
Yeah,
it.
why would you
Yeah,
change?
why would you change? And although competitive COD players have proven, I have formal intel. PayPal me $20 and I'll give it out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, drop it, Reaper. If you got some intel, drop it. Snacks isn't saying anything anymore. But all right, guys, we're gonna cut off the stream unless you guys have any questions. I'm looking in the chat. I don't see any questions. We're gonna cut off the stream. I'll try to stream more often when news drops. Where do you see formal landing realistically? Me? Um. Oh, jeez. Where do I see Formal landing? I thought about him on phase. Like if he, I know it's just mean. It's mean to even say that other players are going to leave teams, but I think, LV. I think he could land on LV. He might say something like, "I don't want to play with this player" or whatever, but I think he could honestly play with Formal Envy. Oh gosh, I think he could honestly play with Parasite, and I just don't know if Parasite, Miracles, and Ricky is a good like attitude combination.
Hmm.
I just don't know if that works. Miracles
I
knows how to.
think,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think um, formals probably would be really scary on phase.
You think
That's the
replays if he
one
takes over for replays?
I don't really usually dabble in what ifs with team changes, but that's the one where like if formal was on phase in place of either JCap or Proofy, that would be that would be scary. I think.
Which one? If you had to
What
pick
do you
one
mean?
of them to trade him with,
Uh,
who would you
I
pick?
don't know, man. They're like I don't know which one I would trade. I don't know. I don't
Do you
know.
think it's
I
too
don't know.
many? You think it's too many ARs if you trade replays for Formal?
Um, I I would never put replays and classic on different teams. I think they're a little duo.
Oh yeah, they probably wouldn't even play on different teams. They'd probably
Yeah,
be mad for
I
the
can't.
suggestion.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
have
good
to have
point.
them on the same team.
So if they're a duo, and if I have to pick somebody on phase to get rid of for Formal,
I don't think somebody.
that's rough.
Yeah, I don't know. That's too difficult of a situation.
I'd
This is
say,
why I don't doubt.
yeah,
This is why I
exactly,
don't do what
exactly.
ifs.
Because this is gonna be on Twitter. UMG Hitch said phase should
Yeah, no.
drop JCap for Formal.
I got in trouble for saying Optic Nation. I said last time we did the sticks, I said I would love to see Optic Nation. And then somebody said UMG Hitch says that they need Optic Nation. And then Hex tweeted out and said everybody's I forgot what he said, but basically he was saying I don't know anything. And I was like, well, that's not even what I said. We're
Twitter,
reckless out here, man.
Twitter is dangerous, man, and that's exactly why. It's funny. I like to be honest. Like I like streaming, but the scary thing about streaming is when you make jokes on stream, people put it on Twitter as fact. And I've seen that
Yeah,
happen. Some of the stuff I've said has gone on, and I'm just like, whatever, like and the good thing about me being independent is, you may get a call from Jeff if you say something stupidly ridiculous, but
yeah.
nobody's gonna call me. I mean, Hex may send me a Skype message like, I did get in trouble once. I said something that wasn't true in one of my videos, and
Oh yeah,
a team owner hit me up on Skype and had a very stern conversation with me about it. But ultimately, I'm an independent guy, so I can, I'm not on Esports Report, so I can throw
right.
stuff out there and say, well, I think this. And like for me, I would say I would replace maybe Proofy with Formal, but where would Proofy go is the next question. It's like,
LV.
ooh, Proofy and Parasite on the same squad. That might work.
That's what I'm thinking.
Proofy
I don't
LV.
know.
You guys,
I'm not saying anything because the chat is gonna tweet at Hex again.
You guys say something in the chat if you think Proofy would work on LV. That would actually be hmm, that would actually be interesting. So you're saying
Yeah.
would you keep the same roster? So would you say Ricky, Parasite, Miracles, and Proofy, or would you say like Ricky, Theory, Parasite, and Proofy?
Well, I think Theory would be on phase at that point. I mean, no, it wouldn't formal.
No, no, Formal would. So Theory still needs a team. So I'm thinking if they
Um,
drop Miracles, pick up Theory, Parasite, Theory, Proofy, and
that
Ricky.
would be a scary team. That would be a scary team.
That would you can't get rid of Proofy.
As
Oh,
long as I mean,
sorry.
as long again, whenever you talk about Parasite or Killa, they're very grounded in their ways. So as long as there's nothing,
Yeah.
you know, chemistry wise, if they got along,
Yeah,
I think that'd be a scary team.
I'm wondering how the duo really broke up, like of Theory and Sharp. It had to be money. Like that's the only. Sorry, my headset fell off.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think is that it has to be money. Like I don't know what for that duo. I don't know what outside of money would make Theory want to leave the team. You know, I think he just wants to win, wants the best chance at that Anaheim cash.
Hmm.
And I honestly think TK just had a bad day. They would easily go back to being a top 2 team with the
Yeah.
exact same roster, no changes needed. They had a bad day on the sticks.
Um, I interviewed Formal a couple months ago, and he straight up told me he's doing whatever is going to get him the most money. So I mean, he's
Oh,
talked about like being friends with all the guys on TK, and I feel like he still is, good friends, but he's taken a semester off of college to
yeah,
pursue this, and so he literally has to do. He's not working or anything. He has to do what is going to make him, the money. So whatever decision he made was, I'm guessing, was purely based off of money because that's what I mean. This is what he wants to do.
yeah. I agree. I agree. Um, Dennis, I do not think the Modern Warfare 3 optic could beat today's complexity. However,
No.
somebody asked me on Twitter earlier, and you can tell me your opinion, Hitch. I do think the impact of last year could beat today's complexity. The only thing is, there's one player that's on both teams, so that's kind of impossible to judge.
The impact
I
of
think
last.
impact could beat complexity. Parasite, Miracles, Killa, and Karma. But then
Hmm.
you have Karma versus Karma, so it's kind of like, how do you judge that? You know?
I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think this complexity would pretty much. I think they would pretty much dominate the Impact squad because I mean, you got to think about the finals this year compared to the finals last year. Finals last year went to round 11, right?
Yeah.
Finals this year.
But it was because Impact came all the way back on Envy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right.
That Impact team
Uh,
was ridiculous last year. Like I mean, they dominated the game and they lost and then beat Optic and then won their way all the way back to game 11 and won against Envious. Envious had the championship in their hands last year.
yeah. But keep in mind, like this complexity squad dropped one respawn map.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I think the great, you know what? I gotta be honest though. The greatest stats I've seen from COD champs are out of Team Envious. Like, what did they play? 44 maps. Somebody said something like that. Like,
Yeah, and
they
they had to
played
have been exhausted.
they played the most maps possible. That nobody would have ever even been able to play more matches than them,
Yeah,
and they got second. That's what's crazy about it is that their road to second place was harder than anybody else's road. Like the way they had to get there, and they played teams that everybody thought they were going to lose to, like SB and like TK, and they won. You know, and so I
yeah,
think I mean I honestly think they proved themselves. You know, it was weird. I if you guys asked me what the heck the problem was with the finals, and you can stab me or throw arrows at me or whatever if I say this, but I honestly think Merck's comments changed his whole attitude, and it actually made him. You could see he got nervous and like he looked like a different Merck while he was making the comments. You could see he kind of was like he was almost like shaking a little bit. Like he wasn't smiling, he wasn't happy. He was just like, "Yeah, I bet they miss me now." And when he made those comments, if you go back and watch the video, and you may see them on my channel on best competitive vids of the week, but or tomorrow on my recap of COD champs, but he made those comments and he looked literally different. And I think he went in the booth, even though they had that break. I think the jitters of beating Optic, because he probably was like all of his energy and his entire body, his brain, and everything went into beating Optic Gaming. And when he did, you could see that he was just like, I did it. And I think he felt achieved at that moment. And when
yeah,
when they got into the game against Complexity, I'm not saying Merc was done, but he didn't have the energy left to push. And I think the comments that Complexity made, we wanted it more than anybody else. That point, it was probably true. Like they wanted it more than Team Envious did.
yeah.
So that's just my opinion. I could be
I,
wrong.
I, I pretty much. I mean, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
I went. I went. I don't know how much I'm really allowed to share, but I went to the Envy House. A couple
yeah,
days
yeah, yeah,
prior.
yeah.
A couple days prior to Champs, got to talk with all of them, TCM and Indy, and they were not necessarily Merc, but or not necessarily Rambo, but the other three were pretty much gunning for Optic. That's who they want to beat. They want to prove themselves, and so I feel like that
Wait,
was the light at the end.
You said which player wasn't saying that?
I didn't see Rambo really talk much about it, but Rambo,
Oh, okay. But he has his own grudge with Optic because
oh,
they
I'm sure
dropped
he
him.
does.
Yeah, they dropped him
I'm
for Nade
sure,
Shot. So
yeah, I'm sure everyone's got a little bit of
a
a
grudge with
grudge for
Optic.
Optic. Yeah,
Well,
because it's
now
got to be.
everyone's
I
been
mean,
on their team. So
yeah, I mean, it's really easy to hate on people that hate on Optic, but if you put yourself in their shoes, it's got to be the most frustrating thing.
in
You know,
Optic shoes.
no, if you put yourself in like,
Oh
say,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Merc's shoes,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that's got to be so frustrating to get dropped from a team.
Yeah.
The way that he got dropped, we won't go into it, but the way he got dropped was
Yeah.
really brutal. And
Yeah. You mean the four? You mean the
and
four
then now
YouTube
every
videos?
time he what?
You mean the four YouTube videos all at once?
Yeah, yeah. The um, I mean, the way he got dropped, and then every time he scrims them and streams, playing against them from there on out, he gets hate, and
Yep.
so it's got to be frustrating. And I'm sure it was really, really, you know, uh, it probably felt good to beat him.
It probably felt like I'm done. I did it, and I
Yeah,
get to take home $200,000, so I'm good.
that's crazy.
Like I did it. I beat Optic Gaming. I get 50 G's. So what? Complexity. Take the championship. You could see the defeat on their faces when they lost, but at the same time, the comments Merc made. I mean, he specifically said, "We beat them at regionals. We beat them here." Like that's what I really wanted to do. We all wanted to beat them. Ray has reasons he wanted to beat them. I mean, he was very open, and so I'm pretty sure what you're saying about the Optic House is pretty true. Rambo is probably just being quiet, beatboxing in the corner or whatever. But that's what I saw. That's just my opinion. I looked at it and I said, oh wow. I was like, dang, this really meant a lot to Merc. Like he could cry right now. Like if Justine asked him the right questions, like,
Broke
so how
down.
meaningful is this for you? Is Rambo's pops or whatever his dad's name is on Twitter? It's like, is he here? What would you say to him if he could? It's like, and he's like, well, I would tell him that we did this for him and we did this for me, and this is really important. I mean, you could see that was like his victory speech, like
Yeah,
before the final, and he was like, I gotta go get some water, and you could tell he needed to calm down. I just think he couldn't do it. It's just my opinion. Merc cries every time. It's just my opinion, and I'm very happy though that I'm happy for Envious. Like they to get where they got is ridiculous, in that tournament. And if TK would have beat them, would they have gotten second place? Who knows? We have no idea.
TK.
Yeah, if TK would have beat them and Envious would have been eliminated instead of TK,
Yeah,
would they have gotten second? Who knows? TK just failed. I mean, I guess is the easiest way to say it. And this is what happens. Roster changes. I didn't think it was going to happen. I said it on our live stream that I hope not, but that it was possible because you finish so far from your expectations. And I don't care what Sharp says. Like if I'm on his team and I'm taking time off of school and we don't get any money, when like eighth place gets $32,000 to split, and we don't get anything, I'd be pretty upset. Like I didn't stay out of school to fly around the country and play video games for nothing.
yeah.
That's just, and so Kingdom, if you could put okay, this is the last question, and then I'm really cutting off the stream because it's supposed to be like 30 minutes. But thanks for over 600 viewers, appreciate it. Kingdom, if you could put a squad together to beat Complexity. This is always everybody's question.
It's always
Um,
the question. I'm eating some chili, sorry.
no, you're good. Who would it be? KS, if you could see the future, I like this question. Would you have dropped Rambo for Nade Shot?
What?
Yes. Only because um if if I was Hex, I mean they dropped him for Machinima's event or whatever because he couldn't play in it, the Frag Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's other reasons. They said that they wanted to keep the same squad all year. I know there was other reasons why. Hopefully Hex isn't watching this. But I think that I would have maybe dropped him because if I could see the future, Team OC, that's right, Dennis. If I could see the future only because of what Optic or what Nadeshot has done for the organization as a whole. Like he set up a platform so that now anybody can, now would they have had all the roster changes they had if they would have kept Rambo? I don't think so. I think if Rambo stayed on the team, it would still be Rambo, Merc, and Scump and a fourth. I don't think. I think Big T would have dropped off like he did, and they would have picked up somebody else like Clayster. Clayster, Rambo, Merc, and Scumpy would have been their squad right now. That's just my opinion. I don't think they would have had all those roster changes.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have made the change if you could see the future? Would you have dropped Rambo for Nate Shot?
If Rambo was not having the issues that he was having in Quebec, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have dropped. I wouldn't have dropped Rambo, and I would have kept Optic. I mean, I would have kept Nate Shot on Optic Nation. As far as growing, as far as winning and growing the brand, that's what I would have done. But I feel like, obviously, I mean, that's not saying any of those people are bad players. I feel like that team just had so much chemistry.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, their chemistry was. Who knows what Optic would have done this year if they would have kept the team that won all but one event that they played at on Modern Warfare 3. Like, what would have happened on Black Ops 2 if they would have had that squad? And I think everybody, when they won UMG, was it Chicago? Everybody was like, oh, wow, go Optic. And then it was like 5th place, 4th place, 6th place, 5th place, 5th place, 4th place. And then they finished like 12th or something, way off, like the worst finish Merc ever had. And then they're like, Merc's the problem. Let's get rid of him. He has attitude adjustment issues and bipolarism or whatever they said, And that was
my
really...
buddy.
Go ahead.
All right, my buddy texted me his dream team. Can we talk about this before we get off?
What do you say?
All right, his dream team is Formal, Scump, Proofy, and Clayster. What do you say about it?
Ooh.
Is that too much slaying power, or is that just enough?
There's no such thing. Formal, Scump, Proofy, and Clayster. The only adjustment I would make is I would trade Proofy for Karma.
Okay.
It's so hard not to have Karma or Crim6 on a dream team. But I guess it's to beat complexity. That's a good squad that you just said. Formal, Scump, Proofy, and Clayster. That's a pretty ridiculous squad. Somebody said, where's Killer? Optic didn't drop anybody. Oh, gosh. All right, guys, we're going to cut off the stream my wife's going to be home any minute. And I'm married, so I'm going to do things that I can't show on camera with her. But I will see you guys in the next stream. I'll tweet it out, and